Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
We're going to need to get over to the mine and cruise through the mine.
Have to figure a few things out. Search
Mine
out
it for
some
information.
Oh, right.
So of course you are concerned about your missing team member.
Right, we think he's there.
You believe that he's been kidnapped and taken to the mine, possibly.
Right.
The gnome.
The gnome.
The gnome.
You want to go know where he is.
We do want to go know where he is. Oh, alright. I'm Jocelyne, and I play Radella, the Radiant, or Ray, for short. And I'm a half-elf bard, chaotic neutral, because I learned this group that you're better not going for lawful, really, anything. But definitely not lawful goods. Chaotic good, chaotic neutral. If you wanted to do lawful evil, that probably blends right in.
Hey!
Cody, half-orc cleric. Character name Blain this year. I think today I will be doing the Russian accent. I know I can be doing this for consistency.
Alright.
My cleric does one.
So you
She
can.
goes,
I have a cleric who speaks with is Slavic accent.
Oh, very
Sister Solis.
What good for business?
She's tiefling.
Oh.
I'm going to try and do my accent with these two
Please continue.
chuckleheads.
I
over
am
here.
leaning towards of the chaotic goods. I am cleric, so I must be righteous in things. Is correct? Yes. So.
Yes.
I am Kellie. I am playing Mistral, otherwise known as Mademoiselle Dangerous.
That's dangerous for everybody else.
I am a half-elf rogue who is a charlatan background, but I am the high-wire daredevil act for this murderous band of circus goers, or circus performers. And I am chaotic neutral, and I have a penchant for gambling. And I speak.
And last but not least, I am Evie. And I am a barbarian who is a half-orc. I am the strong woman in the circus, and also the bearded lady. I wear a pretty pink tutu and carry as my weapon a flail that is my pretty pink handbag with lace trim.
Woohoo!
I am chaotic good, and I'm a full hero, damn it.
Right. Excellent.
Rogue.
I don't crack jokes. I crack skulls.
So what do you guys do when you're looking from your nice shaded in the
Using
woods
perception,
section?
do we see any sign of the rider?
You do see that this trail into the mine is well used, but you don't see the rider. So are you guys going to approach?
I mean, probably they're in the mine, right? And we don't want to be horse thieves.
Why not?
We want to kill them before we steal their horses. Then
Okay.
they will prosecute us, and they're from the City of Lights. So, I mean, that would be very bad for us if the Royal Guard from the City of Lights prosecutes us.
And if they do not see the
Cool.
poster,
Do you
then
believe
will
they
get
slay
suspicious.
for stuff?
What?
in
I
the city?
hate getting flayed.
My take on it. I say we leave the horse where it's at. We go in there.
Yes.
If we kill a guard from the city of Blain, when we come back out, we take delivery off, we take the horse.
Alright, that's my plan too. I like that plan. It's a good plan.
Okay, so you guys just gonna brazenly.
Wait, I have. Hold on, let me commune with my god.
Can
Okay.
I stealth up to the entrance and peek inside?
You can. The cleric is pulling out the stones and doing a quick
And I will
divination.
actually use advantage.
And she's disappearing from your
Okay.
sights, or she
Well,
hopes.
I
so.
pulled the success rune from my bag of rocks. And then I will want to be
Natural 20 on my first roll!
Oh, yes!
As the cleric is saying,
I got
wait,
the
let me
25.
throw the stones, and everyone's looking around like, where'd the rogue go? As you look at the cave and you're barely seeing the whoop of the black armor into the darkness.
I was going to use detect magic on the night to like
Illusion vanish.
Well, the rogue is stealthing. Go ahead and look up what detect magic will tell you, so I can ask you. Haha! This is how GMs teach spells to casters. Wahaha!
It's alphabetical.
Yes. For the duration, you'll sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. Oh, that scared me.
Magic cat.
Dial cake.
If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to siphon aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
So like radiation.
Yes.
Okay, so are you gonna cast this while you're out there, distance away from the cave?
Well, like right up next to the cave, to make
Okay.
sure there's no like magical thing
Okay,
in on the
so are you
walls.
just gonna walk brazenly to the cave, or are you gonna be sneaky?
No.
Okay.
No, to the sneak.
Okay.
Then you have to roll stealth first.
Okay. Oh, I
So as you guys are like, where did Dangerous go?
That's loose.
All of a sudden she peeks inside.
I do the 19.
19? Okay. So give me a perception roll. She's sneaking up.
I mean, or is it?
I got a 9.
As you're sneaking into the cave, you hear two distinct, most likely human voices talking because they're speaking common, and they're talking shop with each other. It sounds like 2 guys just talking crap about each other. You know, next time you carry the bag. No, you carry the bag. You got to ride the horse half the way here. I had to carry the bag. And you see one the faint shadow of 2 guys, and one's pulling a backpack off, and he starts reaching in and pulling out, it looks like a longsword out of this backpack, and puts it against the wall. Then pulls out another longsword and puts it against the wall. Now, we're talking a backpack, and he's pulling out a...
I know it is
4-foot
a
long
bag
sword.
of. It is a
Holding.
huge handy haversack. If it's a backpack, it's a huge handy haversack.
But he's,
Or just a bag of holding.
I have a friend who is a
I would
Jocelyne,
very
so-
much love a bag of holding.
Right,
The
no,
haversack
very good.
is... Did you
I-
get scratched?
The cat may have retaliated for my
Are you
hijinks.
bleeding?
Yes.
Cleric, fix up!
I may be bleeding from my schnoz.
I did that once.
It's just
Here,
a
let me
flesh
prove.
wound.
Yeah, no, it's just a flesh wound, that's why I'm crying.
Oh, it is a tender area.
It is very tender.
I would kill you if I had
So you
I'm
see...
not going to tell them what I see.
Inside the cave, the shadows bouncing off the wall, so they're like around the corner. They no way that they can hear you because
Oh
you are
my
like
goodness.
ninja.
How thick is this stone around the corner? I
Uh,
can't see a glow from the
well,
back.
you are just now stealthing up.
Yeah.
So you're coming up to where she's like stealthily hanging there, but you just
Is
it's not until you're on top of her do you realize she was hiding there on just the edge of the shadow in the cave.
I have a question.
What is your question?
Does he have the backpack on him?
No,
Or did
you
he
saw
put it
you
down?
saw from the shadow that he took the backpack off
Oh,
and was
good.
pulling long swords out of the backpack.
As you
Okay,
do.
is there a certain amount of cover around?
Well, you don't have direct line of sight. There's a round corner, so.
Right, because
Because you want it. You're
So
covetous.
Evie, you notice the rogue has disappeared. The cleric is tippy-toeing past the horse, telling it to be a nice horsey and stay quiet. What are you going to do?
I'm going to keep the tail up to the horse and keep the horse calm because I have animal handling.
Give me an animal handling roll. That's a really good use of the skill.
Woohoo!
You go, Violate.
By the way, for those new to D&D, GMs really like when you use skills other than hit it with a weapon.
Woohoo! To be fair, we've only killed wolves.
I have a question for Jim.
Sorry, what did you roll?
11, but I have +2, so
So
13.
a 13? The horse does seem receptive to your coming up and rubbing his nose and the traditional say hello to the horse move.
Say hello to the horsey. Hello, horsey.
And
He's so much better than your former owners, but you gotta have to chill out here for a while.
oh, so the worst part is when you get close and you touch the horse, you realize that he's been ridden hard, so he's
Aw.
sweaty, and these bastards didn't even take the saddle off.
Oh.
Bastards.
Jealous.
He looks like he's had a good enough ride that he deserves to be watered and brushed down.
Well, I'll pet him and I'll definitely loosen up the saddle at the very least.
Okay.
I don't think it would be a good thing for me to take the saddle all the way off right now.
So do you loosen the saddle enough that it would hurt someone getting up on the saddle?
Yes!
That is an important question.
Get up on the saddle, that sucker's gonna roll around underneath his stomach and then get kicked by the warhorse.
So you drop it 3 or 4 so rungs so the saddle will spin as opposed to hold steady.
Concussed.
Good
Yeah.
choices.
That's just something I figured I'd ask just to make sure that we're on the same page.
I have a
Good
question.
choices.
We pulled Rune of Success. Does that give anyone inspiration? It is directly from the god.
Do you have any abilities like Bless that would say it's so?
I mean, I have multiple holy symbols, and the one I use the most.
No, he does not have bless on his.
So for you believe that you have 100% belief you will be successful.
Okay.
For everyone else, they're like, is he casting those funny stones again?
Oh,
Is he using the sleight of hand for his fortune
We
reading?
don't know. We don't
And
know.
then Ringmaster, you've
Right.
noticed that you're standing all of a sudden alone in the tree
Ring
line.
mistress?
Right, and I'm
There
not...
was some kind of jungle cat that had your attention for a second.
That's it.
Small little bobcat cub.
Right, I'm going to call it Bob.
The cat.
Right, Bob
Butt cake.
the cat. Cake Bob. Bob cake.
Bobbity
Right,
cake.
I am not very sneaky, and everyone's sneaked off, as it were.
Mhm.
But I would do anything for one of the members of my troop. So I mean, I'm going to have to go and be ready to help in some way. So perhaps what I'll do.
You did notice the barbarian who just went to the horse
Oh.
wasn't sneaky. She just approached the horse with that,
Careful.
and the horse stayed quiet, and there didn't seem to be any hubbub.
That's
Though
good.
the cleric and rogue disappeared into the entrance.
Right, they did, because they're.
Nigh to be seen ever again.
Right, well, I hope they'll be seen again. Oh my goodness.
Dangerous and Blain.
That's
On a
your
routine adventure.
Team members.
The greatest earthquake ever known.
I need this page. Alright. So I don't have animal handling either, but I'm really good at performance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel this performance of a family of horse trainers that I remember seeing at a fair, and how good they were with horses. So if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to pretend like I
She's
do.
going to act like she does.
I'm going to act like I know what I'm doing with horses.
As opposed to the barbarian's 10 or higher was good, you would need a 15 or higher since you're faking it till you're making it.
Right, because I don't know what the bloody hell to do with myself otherwise.
You do believe she does have the horse under control.
Right.
Ray, you can give me some water, I can give the horse.
You want water?
No.
Do you say that?
Yes.
You can say that, so that would give you advantage even.
Oh, all right. Thank
If
you.
you have some water, I can give this okay, Ron. It's so hard.
I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing, and to fake it till I make it as a performer with a bucket of water, or actually a flask of water. I don't have a bucket. Let's see. That's 24.
That will be sufficient to act like you know what someone that's good with horses does.
Right.
And you fake it, and you kind of give this double look at the orc, like, am I really doing the right thing?
Right. I mean, I like
Put water in my
horses.
hands here.
So if I see, I can bestow bardic inspiration, right?
You can.
Is that I've just moved?
Mm-hmm.
Is that an action, faking it? Or...
The faking is technically an action.
All right. So
But-
bardic inspiration is
Is a bonus
it's a
action.
bonus,
If I remember correctly.
right? And the person just needs to be within 60 feet and can hear me.
So what are you doing to inspire someone? And who are you inspiring?
I'm going to inspire our rogue.
What is your passive perception?
10.
You don't know where the rogue is.
Oh, do I have to be able to see her?
Yeah, you kind of lost sight of her when she got into the shadows.
No, because it does not say anything about seeing, but that's alright.
Okay.
I
Well,
just have to be able to heal
do you
her.
really want to shout into the cave entrance?
I will not shout. Don't ever shout.
Oh,
I will accept that this the fate whispered her backside.
Alright, I'm just going
Oh, that was
to
flashbacks.
So that gives me a 6-sided, right?
right, there you go. Your bardic inspiration, however you want
You're
to.
inspired.
And I can use it after I roll.
Right, that's right.
She's not only a cleric, she's also a bard.
Yes,
She's done all of the support staff. Alright.
One of
That's
these
what
days, she's
I have
gonna,
more recently played a bard.
Yeah, right.
one of
That's
these
what I've
days I'm
done.
gonna make her a paladin.
Hey, I just paladin and wow. I
There
really
you
like that.
go. Alright,
I
that's
would
what I've
love to
done.
have a
Okay.
halfling paladin on a war dog.
What? That would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Right.
Rogue, you're in the cave. The cleric is sneaking up behind you. It wasn't until he was like right on you did he even notice that you were there.
Okay, so. Well, I mean, obviously I have some line of sight to him because
Uh-huh.
I've seen this, and so there's no coverage at all there.
There's coverage. There's nobody can see you right now.
I am a born gambler who cannot resist taking a risk for potential gain. I want to try and sneak up
Okay.
and steal the backpack.
While they're unloading it.
Well, as soon as they will put it down. I'm
Okay,
getting-
so let's say you stealth up to the corner to actually look at these guys.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and make your stealth.
And.
That's only if you succeed.
No, I'm taking the risk regardless. Okay, and I'm going to add. Although, because that's 13, but I'm going to add.
You're gonna buff it up just because.
Yeah. Okay, so 15.
So you start sneaking up. Cleric is seeing you do the tippy toe. You are using the soft pads of your shoes to get close to the edge. You believe you are peeking around the corner unheard. And as you look around the corner, you notice two guys that are wearing the same kind of clothes that the guards in town are wearing.
Okay.
Except theirs are super clean. And they are reaching into a backpack and pulling out long swords. And yes, there's no physical way a longsword fits in a backpack.
I know exactly.
Especially since this is like the fourth one they pull out. And as you look across where they're putting these swords, there's a wall of about 20 longswords.
They are getting ready for a war.
There's about 200 arrows bundled up in bundles of 20 piled up.
They are preparing for war. And
They're-
they're trying to be
we don't like that.
unobtrusive.
There are a few longbows leaned up against the wall, a few short bows, a few crossbows, about 50 crossbow bolts bundled up next to the crossbows,
They will fit nicely in a.
and quite a few barrels of some stuff and sacks of some stuff there. Probably enough food for at least a small army over the winter.
Oh dear.
They are preparing for a campaign.
They are. We don't like that because we don't like the City of Lights. We're going to set it on fire and depose all of the evil
See,
aristocrats.
because if I can get this gentleman to go off and he does not see me, then I can backstab him.
That's also good.
And you notice that you think they don't see you because at one point the guy kind of looks back, but doesn't look at you. Just kind of looks back at the entrance like he's nervous.
His passive perception must be very high if he can see me.
Or you heard the cleric. Or the echo of the whisper.
So you have a certain number of spell slots which you did not write down. You should really add that.
At first level, it's probably only 2 first level spells.
Alright, for the cleric. So you get to use any of these.
Which I do believe you used one.
You did choose one. You can use any of them twice in a day.
Okay.
So
See, cantrips you can use as many times as you
right,
like.
that's why cantrips are very nice.
Cantrips are your bread and butter.
Prestidigitation.
Right, boom, boom. Right.
Especially, holy flame.
Hey, I love it when my bard was held prisoner for 18 days, twice as long as any of the others. As soon as I got my magic back, that's the first thing she did, practically. Clean.
And all of a sudden you have a flashback to one of the stories the gnome told you about a bard in a distant time in a magic castle long, long ago, far, far away. In a magical teleporting castle.
That's why I gutted the halfling.
You mean a goblin?
No, it was a halfling.
The halfling guard master?
The one that wanted to put me back in prison. Oh, could have
So
been.
Blain, she is snuck up. She's peeking around the corner. What are you going to do? Now that you have line of sight of her, she can't disappear on you.
Well, no, actually, Claudius took care of it. I was going to do it.
So Blain is studying his spells quickly. So Evie. Oh, Evie has stepped away shortly.
I need someone with strong hands.
Here, I will go that way since this is a
Oh,
good time for a break.
That is a good time for a break.
Well, it's a good time for me to head that direction for a break, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Would you give
So-
me a diet soda?
I will get you a diet soda. Would you give the audience at home some filler?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
I did.
Send me a
I
kiss
did
by
look at that. I
wire.
definitely got
Baby,
it.
my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me, and you'll be left alone. So, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
Hello.
Michigan J-Frog.
Did you get the jazz hands in?
Yeah, I actually did have one hand, but
Oh,
off
I did,
camera.
because,
So, I'm gonna get me that bag of holding. I will
me.
die trying.
I gave you what help I could.
Yes, thank you.
And
Oh,
that is
people can't
like,
see me.
that's the most most lawyerish I think I've ever been in my entire gaming experience. Just pointing out that it only requires that you be able to hear me and be within 60 feet.
Yes.
So,
Vicious Mockery is an awesome spell.
right.
And so is Bardic. Now, if I remember correctly, what is your, I think it's your DC or your bonuses is plus, it's something based on your...
My spell save DC is 13. My spell attack bonus is +5. And my spell casting ability is +3. I get a proficiency bonus of 2.
You don't get your Bardic inspiration back until you've had a full sleep because you're so... But once you reach a certain level, then it's after a short rest.
Oh, good to know.
Okay.
Alright, I didn't know that. But
So,
I felt like that was a good time to use it.
Yeah.
Because you're in the dark, in the shadows, with unknown
I'm one with the
persons.
shadows.
Right, no, you've seen one with the shadows.
I
right
am
now.
one with the shadows. As I digress, have you seen the mockumentary, What We Do in Shadows? In New Zealand, rumor has it they might be making a TV show.
They are about the werewolves. They're doing what
one
about the werewolves?
So if you
Oh my God.
If you do a
They're
spell
werewolves,
like she is, you can then use
not
it.
swearwolves.
They're the beast.
Well,
Marty just turned me on to Gallivant.
How many
Oh! In honor of Gallivant in our we have a Genesis steampunk game. We named our airship the Gallivant.
I love Gallivant.
I just like to gallivant. It's a verb.
Yeah, it's a good verb.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah. She says, okay, you just have to watch the first episode. That was missing. Okay, you just have to watch one more. Margie, you're
Fabulous.
Yeah, I love Gallivant.
I had a cup, sweetie. But
I'm also
that cup's
a
better.
big fan of what we do in the shadows, and I love that the one guy is the director from Thor Ragnarok. Just saying, it pleases me a lot.
Which one?
The Nosferatu?
No,
Peter?
no,
His name's Peter.
no, not the Nosferatu.
The Beast,
not
the Vlad.
Not the Vlad, not the sort of foppish dandy
Oh,
one.
yes, I love him. The one who was in love with the old lady.
I think that's right, yeah. Yes.
The one who,
on Netflix, what we do in the shadows.
he is an awesome comedian.
Right, he is.
Well, thank you.
I cannot remember if it's on Netflix or the
It is.
Amazon.
No,
It's on
Thor
Netflix.
Ragnarok is on Netflix right now.
No. What we do in the shadows.
That I don't know.
I believe that's on Netflix now.
We think it might be on
It's
Netflix.
on one of the two. But
But
it was on
is
Netflix for a
fabulous.
while.
It is a fabulous mockumentary about vampires and werewolves.
In New Zealand.
In New
Heard about
Zealand.
it and wanted to see it, and my TV was on the other day because Margie was here, and I haven't had it on for 6 months.
Another
Oh, yes,
release
it
and
is.
show that is on Netflix that I really liked was The Almighty Johnsons.
Right, I did start watching that, and I've gotten halfway through this first season because of your recommendation, as it were.
And we just need a group called the Almighty Scions.
Yes.
All right.
You know, but I want to play Old
All right,
Scion.
we
Yeah,
digress
first
now that
edition,
we're all
not
back.
second edition.
Right.
Yes.
We're all back.
We're all
We're
back.
back.
Yes.
I believe Blain wants to sneak up to catch up to where the rogue is peeking around the corner while he's chewing on something he found on the rock wall.
It's guano.
Okay.
Oh!
I thought it was going to be a spider, but okay.
It's good for constitution.
Oh, Lord. Ugh.
It's a hallucinogenic guano.
Oh, no, even worse. I hate it when Blain does
Okay.
that.
Ew.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth as you're sneaking up.
That's nasty, Brad.
You're super sneaky? Or did you
Fuck.
Not super sneaky.
What'd you get?
A 4.
With your bonuses.
A 4.
So all of a sudden, Blain was grabbing a rock that had guano to lick it. Blain then takes 2 steps forward and chucks the rock over his back.
No.
That then hits the
You
cave.
could have waited until I
That
came
hits
back.
the mine wall, and you see like a whole section of rock that the dirt that was
Perhaps
under it has been
distraction
washed
still
away,
keep me hidden.
and it crumbles down, and you just hear this rock piddle, 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 piddle,
Question:
piddle.
Are they used to the mine acting up like this?
It's
No,
a 4.
they're not.
They are definitely not.
You are spotted.
Remember how I said these guys were jumpy?
You are spotted.
But you are probably not in their line of sight because they're
15
looking
hours
ahead.
hiding behind this stuff.
You were like part of the rock wall.
Yes, there's a-
You've done the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger commando thing where you're like dirt with just eyes.
Oh, the Peter Malak.
I learned how to do this by making kicks.
The funded
decorating
school
is
of
pretty
military camouflage.
Do not mix the pickle.
No.
No, I mean, cake
Patisserie is not
decorating
easy.
is very...
When the Hunger Games goes cake wars, shit gets real fast.
Here, hold these berries for me.
Who knew he made poison berry cupcakes with poison berry fondant? And they all fell for it at the cornucopia.
Oh, my goodness.
Lord.
Okay, but again, we digress.
Half of them killed the other half of the poison cupcakes, and then they ate them.
Oh,
To the victor go the spoiled spoils.
oh dear.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So all of a sudden, as the two of you are out there tending to the horse, calming it down, you hear this cascade of tinkling rocks
Oh, that sounds bad.
that even you guys can blatantly hear. Even the horse kind of whinnies and moves with the cascading stones. Because after all, this is an old decommissioned mine.
All right, I'm going to look at our lovely strong woman. How sneaky are you?
Not very.
Right. I'm an excellent liar.
And the horse goes, me neither, Wilbur.
I only got a +1 for stealth, so not very much.
Oh, you're better than I am. I'm going to provide a distraction and lie. I'm going to bald face it. I'm going to go in there and try and save your friends.
The god of wisdom has led me here to aid in your cause.
Oh dear.
With my,
Well, you don't know you
intelligence
blew
and
your
perception.
stealth. You think you're sneaky. I mean...
I think everyone knows he
Yeah, with a
was
3,
stealth.
you know.
As you sneak up and you look around the corner, and obviously there's the cacophony of echoes and sounds. And literally you're seeing if this was the old classic Metal Gear game, you'd hear the exclamation marks would pop above the heads and they go, what? And they look, and there's your face looking across them. It's not your turn yet
It's
for
not
a
your
bluff.
action.
They see you.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Right. I would do anything for my friends, including possibly die. I'll definitely lie for them.
Oh, she's got one. Yeah, I already kind of shushed it most of the way there.
He knew I was going to do something. I am going to just walk in there and let it be a distraction. That's what I'm going to do. Hello! How are you? Look at this cave! I love this cave!
And
I've been looking for a cave like this.
what's your wisdom?
My
Not
wisdom
very high.
is a 9.
What's your intel?
My intel is a 10.
But you're
But I'm a good performer,
and you're crafty.
and that's
So,
what I'm doing. I'm
I
performing.
will say something. Remember last session? It's been a month, so that's why I'm giving you a quick refresher.
Yeah, I don't remember it. Yeah.
There's a bard in town, right? Besides
Right.
you,
Yeah.
who was also a half elf, right?
Right, yeah.
What's her name?
I don't remember.
And she was working secretly for who?
You know it.
The sheriff, right?
Yeah, so pretend to be the...
Oh, right,
I'm like,
that's who
she's
it
not
is.
kidding where
I'll
you're
throw
going.
that out there.
Thanks, that's
but-
what I'm doing. Thank you.
You're welcome, because I'm just thinking you're crafty, you're cunning.
I am. I am.
I
Thank
will
you.
throw that out there as a
That's
possibility
intel.
of you obviously are announcing your presence. It's echoing down
Right.
there. You
Yeah.
are stealing the attention, so to speak.
I am. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving time for my cleric to regroup and hide, or at least not die. Hello! Hello! I've been looking for you all day. I think the map has led me to the right place.
So, Violet, what are you doing while she's going into the cave, talking very loudly, very verbosely, very in character?
I am just going to be sort of sneaking up towards the opening of the cave so I'm close by if they need me.
But out of sight? Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth.
I got
I'll-
12.
I will give you advantage, by the way, because there's a beautiful distraction,
Okay.
and she's loud too.
Because in Russian we say tikrosi.
Oh, I got 2 12. So
Oh,
I got
thank
12
you.
plus
So
13.
13 your stealth that you're slipping into barbarian commando mode, and you're getting all sneaky, hiding on the rocks.
Do orcs have camouflage? Are we chameleons?
No.
No.
Drain the green.
But she's
become
doing barbarian
brown.
camouflage. All of a sudden, she rubs some woad and 2 little
I was just saying, their idea.
clown circles.
In rose.
So immediately, as Blain is looking around the corner, you're looking around the corner as well, but you're camouflaged, so you look like part of the rock wall. Both of these guards reach down to the swords that they're piling up and pull their long swords up and are starting to walk right towards you.
The bag is unattended.
The bag is unattended.
You're welcome. What can I say
You
except
guys don't
you're
even
welcome.
know about the bag yet.
No, it's true, we don't, but you're still welcome. 'Cause you've
But
got
you can't sneak right past them in blatant sight.
No, but if they go past me,
There is that.
I can backstab them and steal the bag.
There's one goal here. The goal is to get the bag.
pack of holding.
In honor of the month, it is not clearly, it is clearly.
And you
Oh,
notice
that's
that
right. It is fly.
they are coming right towards you, but they hear noise clearly behind you, so they're like, "Oh God, there's a small army." It sounds like.
Oh, alright. It's Happy Pride! We're gonna get the bag!
We're gonna parade this shit.
We're going to live! And just hands!
Jazz hands.
Bard hands.
Bard hands, alright.
Bard hands.
Bard hands.
And when you're high enough, it's bard hands, and the daggers are all hidden behind your hands.
Ooh, that's good. That
Then,
is. Ooh, nice. That's good.
always multi-class rogue. They never see it
Very
coming
good
when your
combo.
violin blade is really a blade.
Okay, so around the, I've snuck up towards the mine opening.
Yep.
Are there loose rocks around the ground?
There are loose rocks, especially after the cleric knocked a bunch of them loose off the side.
Alright, I'm gonna grab one, probably about the size of my head. Just hang on to it in case I need to throw it for a distraction.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hang on to it.
Okay.
It's in my hands.
So just in case, you've got that rock ready.
Yep.
So go ahead and everyone roll initiative.
Right, now we die.
And now you die.
13.
What do we do now?
We die.
I need
You
you
take
to
a-
Jesus
die,
Christ.
Mr. Bonds.
So
Oh,
you don't go first. What is your problem?
Did you convert?
It is
Like,
What did you get?
Not just a 4.
Yes,
Like,
it-
can you give me good rolls? Thank you.
Well, you know,
no, it's better to get the
I will
balance
say
of
the
way
same thing I say to every cleric in every game.
Go
As a
last,
cleric,
good save.
it is best to be last because that way you know who needs the most life given back to them by the end of the thing. And you probably don't want to be the one lying right now because you'd be like, "You're pretty."
that's also true.
Going last is a good thing in your third position.
It is usually a
Position.
good thing.
I got a 5.
I got a 12.
Ah, get a 14.
That was a 14 or was it 13?
14.
Okay, 13?
Quatorze! Ooh, cheeky gentlemen.
Oh, crepe Suzette.
Great success.
What's the tip?
Oh.
Oh,
What is it? A natural 20?
oh,
Oh!
I forgot I gave you that
See,
ruddy
I
brown
doing-
dice.
Oh no, that was the one we got at Con.
Oh, you got
Remember,
that
he
from-
gave us all those
Yes,
that
right.
game. That was an amazing game.
It was. Oh, Miss Patrick.
I know. You know, Duncan's got a new house. He wants to have a,
Okay, with the-
big neocon.
Ooh.
Because we haven't had Conrad Con in like 2 years.
Though Michael is having a
And we
game
could
of
make-
The Strange at Isle of Games this weekend.
And
I
we were
played
unable
it with
to
him
put-
like last weekend or
Oh.
the weekend before. The weekend before. It was so good. I had a good time. I would
It's
definitely
fun when
do
the
it
GM
again.
doesn't have to roll dice.
Yeah, no, it's
Cody, Berlin, the plan is when I'm out there visiting, we are going to play D&D one night while I'm there. So
Yes.
Alright, sounds
How
good.
many nights are you going to be out? Because I'll be like, we play D&D one night, we play another game another night.
Friday, Saturday night, right?
Well, Margie was saying that there's something going on at Hops and Vines Friday night.
Oh, that could be fine, actually, if you want to do the
Saturday
gaming
night.
that night, because then if she is going to be Hops and Vines, we can do a game, because
Well, it
that
sounds
means
like she
our
could be
other
saying
game.
we're going to Hops and Vines. Are you
Or
going
we're
to
all
Hops
going
and
to
Vines?
Hops and Vines.
Were you
I
saying
know.
she's going or a group is going?
Well, she told me that I'm going.
Oh,
See?
never
So
mind.
we're all going to
That,
Hops and
that was
Vines.
the implication I was hearing because
If they have Fluffer, I'm there.
Dude, that shit was good.
Fluffer is the best
I do
wine
have a fluff-
ever.
Margie brought it over for
for
Christmas.
those
and it
for
was,
those at home, this interlude is brought to you by Arizona Hops and Vines.
That's right.
Which is
Wonderful.
A wonderful vineyard in Sonoita.
that has the most delicious
There is
wine.
a sparkling white wine
They have
called the
Fluffer.
Fluffer, which is the most divine substance on the planet.
I have an
and
empty
the
bottle
descriptive.
on the.
Oh yes.
So I think it's on the top rack. Yeah.
And
And they have many wines of amazing
but
flavors.
this one in particular is my
See.
favorite.
Let's just wipe that off.
And as
Terrible.
a vineyard goes, they are great because you can go there and try many different wines, and they have that beautiful patio to sit
have
and
a
relax.
lovely
Don't
patio.
pet the donkey.
Shall I read the description?
The donkey's not there anymore.
Oh, sorry, my bag fell over.
They have many lovely wines. It's owned by two sisters. They also do some beer now, and some fortified wines. And their most popular wine is the Fluffer, a sparkling white, phenomenal piece of wine.
A seasonal.
It's not seasonal.
It's available year round
now? It sells out, but it's available year round as long as it's not sold out. Right. The Fluffer.
The Fluffer. You're on.
Am I?
You are.
You're never off.
Fair. A wine that starts off soft and relaxed, but finishes bold and firm, busting in your mouth with flavor.
Bursting.
It's totally different.
I don't have glasses, I'm sorry.
That's alright.
Fruity and crisp. This wine is easy to swallow. No spitting required.
And let's show them the label.
The beautiful, they make their own labels. They also sell labels too.
Alright, label stickers.
Which that would be great on the back of your car as a bumper sticker, I'm just saying.
No, it's true.
Yes, it would.
True. It's lovely.
This moment brought to us by Arizona Hops and Vines.
We love hops and vines. It's wonderful. They do encourage you to bring a picnic, to sit out on their patio, to visit with their farm animals. They have a pig named Kevin Bacon.
Delicious.
They have ducks and geese.
Ooh, not the cobra chickens.
And they have sheep, I think. They used to have a wonderful goat. He's deceased. And the donkey has been moved because he kept biting me.
I blame one particular person.
I think he was
for
an ass.
petting the donkey when it says "Don't touch the donkey."
Look, that sign came up after I petted the donkey. And
Like
he bit
most
me.
good warning signs do.
He was a very friendly donkey, and I reached in because he was like, "Hello, I like you," and I'm like, "Oh, scritch your ears," and he's like, "Oh, scritch them further." So I reached in my arm, as you do, and he just whipped his head around so quickly, and he bit my arm, and right.
As
So-
most people use scratch and scratch.
He the rest is history. Margie may have punched him in the nose.
My grandma once hit a mule in the face with her sandal after we stopped to give them apples, and it bit my fingers.
Hey,
These two fingers just bit and pulled. My grandma's hitting him with her flip flop.
a horse
Giving him
bit
the
me.
She's
The
got
chocolate.
full chunkla on him.
When I was a kid, I was standing by and I had an English muffin, buttered English muffin in my hand when I was talking to the neighbor right next to his corral with the horse,
Ugh.
and it ate my muffin and bit my fingers.
Oh my goodness!
That sounds like a really good date.
That's why we're not safe for work.
Because my mouth's involved.
Look, we read the fluffer label.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
So as you're making your announcement, everyone's rolling for initiative.
Right, I got a big fat 5.
Mm-hmm.
You got a big fat 4.
As all of a sudden, both of these men come walking up with their swords blatantly pointed towards the half-orc
Does he
cleric.
pass me?
Well, he's right kind of next to you, but they seem
Am
to not
I-
notice you.
I was
You-
like, technically, would I get backstab on them?
They seem to not be
And
noticing you whatsoever.
Combat advantage.
They don't seem to be noticing you yet.
That's not my question.
You have your rogue advantage against one of them, but you do not have combat advantage. And they seem to not notice you, as I said, which
Okay.
means you have combat advantage.
Yes, alright.
As they're pointing swords at you and they realize there's something coming behind you that they're on guard. As they kind of pace themselves out and they're pointing their swords at you. As you're blatantly hiding out in the complete open of the cave.
You
of
know,
the mine.
as you do. As you do.
In cleric school, they never really taught you the school stealth.
No.
And it just, you
Faith
know,
is your sheath of
Well, I
darkness.
just made my sneak legendary, so it's... Come on.
As they come around the corner pointing swords at you, and off in the distance, there you are coming in, silhouetted by the glow of the outside and the sparkle of your charisma.
That's what they call it.
oh, the
It could
charisma.
also be the nudity.
It's still some afterbard glow.
Oh,
And one of
my.
them, by the way, is very clean cut.
Right.
Very square chin.
Is he a girl?
No.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
You
Not for
are
me.
a performer.
That's
Wink, wink.
Alright, I can work with it. I can work
Fluff him with your muffin.
At least he's clean shaven,
I can
alright.
take the two of them at once. I'm
I mean,
She's got the epic stamina.
Fluff him with your muffin. Come on.
not a muffin. for
So
you.
really, they thought it was McLovin. Really, it was Mufflovin.
love loving. Yeah, that's it.
Don't
Okay,
spit.
and
Come
they
on, Kellie.
basically halt or we'll kill you both.
Dun dun dun.
And then it is the rogue's turn.
I am going to.
They kind of have their backs to you in a way. Are you gonna stealth past them?
Is the bag on the ground?
Bag is on the ground. She's like, fuck y'all. she's
Fuck
she's
them
using
and the
advantage
horse.
and
Because
sneaking
I'm
past them.
sorry. Born gambler. It's.
Her real plan is to sneak past them and douse
I-
the torches to draft them in darkness so that way
But
the night vision people
also-
will group, which is everyone.
Okay.
That's good.
But these two guys,
But also, if I can get truly behind them, then also you guys get combat advantage.
or that's what she's going to tell you guys tonight after
that's
she
good.
steals the bag.
Hey.
We'll all get advantage from
And
the
she
big
makes
bag.
her bluff.
Okay, come
Come
on.
on, baby. Come on, mademoiselle.
Okay, so that is a 19.
Okay, so at the least you got a 19.
19!
Not a
Or at the
19.
most you have 19.
Good.
You believe you all of a sudden are just like slinking past them as they turn around the corners and the shadow bounce against the wall. You become part of that shadow and move around it.
You are the shadow.
Only the rogue knows.
Dun, dun, dun.
You know,
As you look forward and you see the bag as they've gone right past you, like literally do the simultaneous. They're drawing, pointing at you, and you're like, "Phoop," just out of the corner of their eyes. They think they may have saw something, but their subconscious tells them they're just seeing
They didn't
shadows.
see nothing. They didn't see merde.
Sacre bleu.
Sick married, that's true.
Oh my goodness.
So are
I'm
you
gonna
going
have
to the
hook
bag,
you up
by the
with
way?
some profanity and French.
Please.
Right.
I'm sorry, what was
Are you going to the bag?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I want that bag.
Okay. So you're running up and you're
I
like,
am just making limiting their weapon supply. I wonder how
oh.
much I can sell everything
Doesn't
for.
matter. We'll have a bag of bullets for this.
That's also very handy.
Do you think
It's
the
always-
gnome is in the bag?
We don't know. We're going to find out.
As you know, she sneaks
New
around the corner
rules
doing her thing.
Specify if he is, he's dead.
Yeah,
There's
there's no
only
option.
enough air supply for like what, 5-6 hours
Yeah,
in the new rules.
he's my magic component for zombie.
Mm.
Zombie gnome.
Oh,
So-
He's an ankle biter, that one.
Violet, you're hiding. You're peeking around the opening. You've got your rock ready to brain somebody. Totally sounds amazing for your character. Sounds completely in character. And it's your turn. You see the bard. They've got swords pointed at the bard and the cleric. You don't know where the rogue is in this whole situation.
You can hold your action.
You can. Holding
Like-
action is the thing you can do. You say, if they do this, I will do that. And
It has to be
basically,
specific.
if that specific trigger doesn't happen, you lose your turn that round.
So, like for example, you could say if they attack one of them,
If one of them comes to
then
attack,
you
I throw
will
my rock.
charge or
Or
throw the
yeah.
rock.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do is until the bard has had a chance to convince them that she's the other bard.
That's a good play. You
I
mean
don't
you mean give the bard a chance to talk, and you know when she talks, when she opens her mouth, magical things happen to men.
Mostly
That's
That's
women.
just charm person.
Everyone, to everyone. Magical things happen to everyone.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so is your plan to charge them or to throw the rock?
Well, my plan is that
You're just hanging out with that.
You're about to get attacked, by the way.
The last one was a 2. So.
if it doesn't work, I'm gonna throw the rock as I rush in.
Okay, so you're gonna throw the rock and move in to take a defensive position in front of your bard.
Right. If the bard can't talk them down.
Okay,
All right.
I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
Attack her and the cleric because I gotta back my team.
That's a good ready to action because it's very specific. Of when this happens, I will do this. Perfect. Okay.
That's just my trigger, but I'm just hanging. I'm
So-
going to give Ray a chance to do her magic.
So Ray, you happen to be next. Kind of convenient. From a 12 to a
That's
5.
good.
Fluff them with your muffin.
As you see the guards, they're kind of like swords almost at the cleric's neck, but they're pointing them mostly at you.
Right.
Because obviously you came here balls to the walls, speaking loud and speaking proud.
Am I lit up by the light?
You
the
have
torch?
you
are
have the corona of
haloed.
outside around you.
Right, but they can see me pretty good. So they're
Mhm.
not like blinded
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. Right. I'm going to strategically stumble and grab the edge of my tunic and yank at the same time as I stumble for a distraction maneuver.
And both of them give you a slightly toothless smile.
Which one of them gets the bloody nose?
Decapitation.
Anime style.
Anime rule says one of them has to.
A deep
And
decapitation.
that's my move. Is that my
Okay, that's
move?
your move, yeah.
Right.
Oh, you're making a
Stagger,
move.
stagger, cleavage, stagger, stagger.
Stagger, cleavage.
Wait, make sure the sheriff doesn't give me a ticket.
It's a standard maneuver.
Did I fall?
Officer, did my ice cube fall down there?
Right, so, pardon
I'm so
me,
clumsy.
I'm so clumsy in the dark,
And instantly they're both grinning.
and I'm just so relieved to find you here, because I'm not very good with maps. I'm much
I've asked him
better,
to leave me here.
As the cleric has the map.
I'm much better with my hands, and with the power of my,
Tongue.
my musical aptitude.
Such immature. Oh.
Do tell us more.
I'd love to tell you so much. Perhaps we could, I don't know, sit down, have a drink. You'll have to excuse my my companion.
Remember, you did decide as a group that half orcs are used as slaves, so you could just be your servant.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
I forgot that.
I thought I'd throw that out there for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's been a while.
It's
It's setting. Sometimes it's good to remind.
That's good. Yeah.
Remember, good GMs remind your players about the setting because, hey, things happen between games.
Right,
Yes.
especially when you have been a month between games.
Yeah.
So, please forgive my servant,
Blain.
Blain. He is very useful for carrying things, and also
He's
He's
licking
eating
the
rocks again.
He's licking the walls.
is he licking the walls because
That's
It's
something
really.
like a window licker. That's
it's a
lot.
thing he does, and it's I'm very sorry about that, and I'm sorry that he.
So I will let you choose deception or charm, whichever you're better at, because it sounds like it's somewhere between the both. And
Or performance, because it's
there is a performance there.
I'm a +5 on performance, persuasion, and deception.
So dealer's choice.
Right.
And you have advantage, by the way. You should boob.
All right, that's good.
Because it actually is a proven fact that boobs will
All
distract.
right, that's good. 21.
Woohoo!
Advantage because she used her boobs.
Immediately, as you smile and do that, "Oh, I'm sorry, dear lady," and he like smacks with his sword the guy next to him's like, listen to the fine lady. Can't you see she's a lady of distinguished refinements?" As he just stares at your cleavage, and the other one is like following his gaze. They don't even notice your ears or your slightly almond-tilted eyes. They think you are a beautiful human from this place because of the bad backlighting, and they're like, "What may we do for you, lady?"
Heaving, but.
Your heaving leather armor.
There are so many things I can imagine that you could do for me right now.
Longest 6 seconds in history. Move aside, Oak.
If
We
she
need,
had a popsicle right now, what?
The
we
stick
need
would
to
come back
speak
empty.
to your mistress.
Now you got combat advantage because they're moving in front of you.
They are dropping their defenses and walking around you like you don't matter. You are just a servant, and they are not giving you notice.
Hella.
Right on.
Things I can
And-
do.
And
Be distracting.
by the way, it is your turn. Because you are literally one number lower, so...
Should I just ring those helms?
Or you could let them just play along, too.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm
how
gonna
Get
do. I'm
into
gonna do that.
your
I'm just gonna
position
step
and-
back and look down.
You play humble?
Yeah, servant.
Humble servants.
Just get into a position of advantage.
Yeah, behind
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's not just rogues that like it from behind.
Actually, wait a minute.
you. Looks like you.
Hold on.
Wow, she was quick in the snatching your character.
Ooh.
Oh, snatch!
I know you've had a few drinks, but you
Well,
must have
no.
permission
I'm
first.
trying to remember what guidance does. It's a
Plus 1d4. It's like Bardic Inspiration.
for
Your next
you
D4.
could under your breath cast guidance on her to give her +4.
Which, by the
right.
way, is a concentration spell, so you have to maintain that spell. You can't cast
It's a
anything else.
it's
until she
a
uses it.
cantrip.
Mhm. It's a free. It's a. You can do it.
So
Constantly.
you can do that,
Oh.
and it will increase her.
Right.
I just said it
You
happened.
could basically-
You basically say, "Gods above and below, something, 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 guide her path," and she just feels the gods helping her assist. Sort of like a Bardic Inspiration, but religious, so it's not as effective.
It's only a 1d4, but you know, sometimes all you need is a 1d4.
You know, while I'm looking down, I'm just gonna phase out.
Yeah, there
and
you go. See,
gloss over.
Right, good.
They're ignoring you because you're just a slave.
Exactly.
They're giving you the classic Roman treatment that you're a slave and we're walking
I
on.
can't vote. I can't own property.
No, you are property.
You might be able to buy
I
your
know.
freedom eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, maybe. You
But-
are Spartacus.
but
There's
that will help
supposedly
her.
some rights that protect you if someone would listen.
Right, but you're still property, so overall, it's a bad business.
I'm not gonna. I really don't want a horse inside of me though.
Oh, no.
Okay.
What?
Are we going reverse Odyssey here?
We're not
The
going
Trojan
there.
horse.
Oh.
It was them in the horse, not the horse in them.
Yeah, but the horse made it into the city. Smuggled in it. So
Oh, right.
Okay.
It's
good.
better than the Persian horse.
I mean, we are moving
no, you're talking
on.
about the bowl.
No,
We're
baby,
moving
the one that you
on.
slide down and get cut in half.
Oh,
The mare, riding of the mare.
no,
I'm-
good. Okay,
We're moving
all right.
on.
We're
Let's.
moving on from PC torture devices.
Yes, please. All right.
And if you're interested in those torture devices, let us know, and we'll tell you about them later.
you can look
Right.
at Wikipedia.
Right, that's what.
So they are completely
PTSD.
not looking at you, and on their turn, you feel that they will be walking up to your dear mistress to find more information of what she's doing here.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Ooh, so good.
AVB, how you do?
Oh, so
You gotta get
good.
the teeth, the
Teeth sucking.
Gotta pull that jerky out of that tooth.
Ew.
Okay, so believe it or not, this will then be, since you're just doing guidance to her to give her a plus 1d4. So you have a plus 1d4 to your next d20 roll,
All
whatever
right,
it is. Basically, the gods are favoring you in this roll.
Thank you.
Top of the order. Unfortunately, we all realize they rolled really well in their initiative,
They come at me.
and they come really awkwardly close. It's
Start
that.
fondling.
No, they don't
Okay,
touch.
good.
They don't
That's
touch.
Not yet.
They're used to being offered what they want.
Oh.
They don't force themselves upon.
Well, that's
This.
good at least.
And she's really playing it up, so they're like, let's see where this goes.
Oh, good.
And obviously the officer type of guy gets really close to you, and he's just like up to your arm and breast, and his buddy comes into your other arm and breast, and like really, really awkwardly, you can smell that they've been eating jerky for 2 days straight.
Oh, good. Good.
And it's not like good jerky; it's probably like horse jerky.
Oh,
As they're like, "What are you
I said
doing
you want
here?
horse in me.
good.
Who sent you for a good time?"
Oh, our mutual friends.
Ooh. I'll give you advantage on your deception, whatever roll.
Am I rolling now?
You are clever.
Yes. Technically, let's go through everybody's rolls, but you have advantage.
All right.
So, Rogue, you've got the backpack. You've officially picked it up in your grubby hands. It's kind of lightweight. It's on you.
It's on me.
It's on you. Okay. Feels kind of like slightly full backpack, but you think there's something inside it.
Oh yeah, we'll find out later.
Every bit of silverware from the key.
Okay.
We did put that wench in the bag, didn't we?
And I'm going to get my rapier ready. Mm-hmm.
As you slowly pull your rapier out, give me a stealth. I'm assuming you're getting a little closer.
Yeah. Okay.
Something tells me you might like be doing something bad your next turn.
Well, I want to be prepared because then. Okay, a 10.
Wow!
Oh!
All of a sudden, around the corner, she's slipping this backpack on, and she's.
Oh no, the backpack's already on. I'm pulling my weapon.
Well, this is your stealth of you coming closer. So
Okay.
she's putting the backpack on, so elated, so strong of ego that she's stolen what she believes is probably the huge haversack of coolness, or some such magic device she's heard stories of, like the pickpocket's pouch of perpetual pockets, or something like this. And she slowly pulls her rapier out because she's like, I'm gonna gut every one of these sons of bitches and walk
Well,
out.
no, I'm not gonna gut them. I'm planning to. I know he's about ready to, I just want to be prepared for when shit goes down.
And all of a sudden she
But
pulls her
apparently, I'm causing
her
the
rapier out, and she forgot to close the sack, so the little sword hilt that's sitting out slowly is sliding out as you're
No,
getting
no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I didn't drop shit.
You got something better?
Like, I do, okay? Something a little more plausible. I didn't
But-
roll a fucking 1.
Okay.
I got a 10!
The
Okay?
passive perception is 12, by the way.
Okay. But still, I didn't roll a 1, okay?
How did
When
you
I'm
botch
when I'm pulling it out, it
That's
makes
what
that
she said.
scraping sound.
It's more of a slurpy sound.
It's like, so instead of doing it quietly, it comes scraping along the side and makes that scrape noise.
Obviously, it's been too long since she sheathed them and she
I
their
can't
sword.
do a good scrape.
You
No,
need
no,
to
okay.
fail it.
It's like,
Right.
Little sing.
yes.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Ah, shit snaps.
Man.
It's up in a toy.
As all of a sudden they're like, hello, hello, hello. And they immediately like go wide-eyed and turn around past the orc like, what's the orc doing? Obviously the orc's gonna attack us. And you're just standing there like, I didn't do shit, motherfuckers. Why's it always gotta be the orc? As all of a sudden you're
Is this
noticing,
because I'm green?
because what's your passive
Green lives
perception?
matter.
Oh, it's because you're green.
Jocelyne's had just enough drinks, let that slide. Almost. I love that look. I love you, Jocelyne.
I love you too.
So,
What's your
and by the way,
passive
what's your
perception?
passive perception? It's your wisdom modifier plus 10.
12.
You clearly hear the sword get pulled around the corner.
Aww.
Obviously, she doesn't know about the soft draw. She only does the hard draw.
Oh, that's what she said.
Because I'm Mademoiselle Dangerous.
We're all going to die.
And they immediately look at you, and they turn their backs on you, looking at the orc, but it's past the orc because you're like, bitch, please. As it's something back in their treasure trove of what just happened. They look like they're going to be walking past you to go find out what just happened. Something's going on. And that's number 14. So, Evie, you sat there ready to throw your rock and run in there to danger, and danger never happened last round. These guys just both turned their backs on your bard friend, and they're looking at the orc with the swords drawn. They look like they're about to dive back into the cave, because what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is what?
It's 10 plus your wisdom modifier.
Thank you.
My wisdom modifier is 0.
So 10.
So 10.
And you
So
rolled
times 10.
I rolled a 10.
So you hear a slight scraping sound from deeper inside. Obviously, the rogue must be stealing a
If
rusty
it's
sword in
scraping
there.
deeper, I recommend some oil.
Always lubricates
Yes.
your sheath.
And never put a bloody blade back in your sheath.
No. Oh,
Regardless
no.
of what the samurai movies show, always clean your blade.
Yes.
Proper hygiene is required.
Oh, yes, it is!
Please stop.
They have turned their backs on me.
They have turned
Yes.
your backs on the bard and you.
And halfway towards me.
They're kind of heading back towards the orbit, towards where I
You
think
definitely
they're
sense
from.
their body language is they will be turning back and going back inside the cave.
Alright.
You clearly are reading all of this in like a sixth of a second.
You're very quick.
Because we had that moment because Ray was the shizmat and she distracted them. Now they have
Briefly.
their backs
Oh,
to me,
16 pieces.
and I have this
I
big
told
old
you
rock
it's good
in
for
my
you.
hand. I'm gonna huck it at the captain one's head.
Ooh, give me, it's an
yeah.
improvised weapon, so it's going to be a d20 plus your dex bonus for a ranged attack of you chucking this big, honking, size of your head rock. And it's going to do 1d6 damage, by the way, plus your strength modifier.
Well, I got a 19 plus.
Damn.
What was the
That will hit. It's plus your dex. If you have a plus the dex.
which is a plus 1.
So you have an unnatural 20, which will definitely hit the guy in the back of the head that doesn't see it coming.
Okay, and a D8.
It's 1d6 plus your strength modifier,
D6.
which is better than your dex modifier, which is why I'm giving you your strength modifier. Makes more sense because you're chucking a dirt clod at him.
So I've got 2 plus 5, so 7.
Damn. You haul off. No one notices you do this for a split second at the cave entrance. Thanks to your dark vision, because you're half orc heritage, lets you see everything going on crystal clear. You reach back, your muscles start to you hear the tightening cordage of your muscles, and you just launch this rock that just flies right by the druid's head with like a little exclamation point excitement. What was that? As this rock
No,
goes
like
by.
comic book whoosh.
As this rock goes flying by and just bashes into the back of his head with this little derpy middle, ages helmet that looks like a little bell, and it just cracks right into the back of his head.
Ooh.
Can you
And
say concussion?
It doesn't drop him, but he basically lurches forward and there's a little pinkish reddishness coming down of his hair. His greasy
Okay, good.
His greasy hair is a little sticky right now,
Yeah.
and not in a good way.
No. Okay.
Okay. So, Ray,
Right.
small meteorite goes flying by your face and explodes in the back of his helmet. Thankfully, not like really affecting you, but little dust particles poof as the rock exploded upon impact.
So I still have advantage.
Yes, you do.
You
Your combat
do because it
advantage.
does not. There's no way, shape, or form that happened from you.
Right.
You're
And
like
plus, he's on the
you're
other
like
side.
the only weapons I'm wielding right now are the ones nature intended.
Right. So I'm going to rush up to him.
Because you're flanking them currently.
Right. I'm going to rush up to him. Wrap one arm around his chest. Press my bosom against his back. Exclaim, "Oh, my dear Captain, are you
Captain Micah.
all right, you poor thing? I think that was a vicious bat attack."
Oh god.
And at the same moment, can I
Okay.
do this? That's my move and my talking. You tell me if
Are
I
you
can
gonna
do this.
stab him in the fucking back?
I'm gonna stab him in the motherfucking back with my rapier through his kidneys.
I will give you advantage. Yes, you can.
The kidney.
And because
Good
obviously he was
save,
not
but-
expecting your cleavage to sprout blades.
I feel like so that's 17 on the die.
That will hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
And my rapier is a 1d8. Where's
Plus
my...
your dex.
plus my dex.
Yeah.
Alright, I do that.
Ooh, poor
Ooh,
bastard.
6 plus my dex is 2, so 8.
As immediately this micrometer explodes at the back of his head, you rush up and put your bosom against his arm and you wrap your arm to hold him
Yes,
steady.
Yes, I do.
And all of a sudden he sprouts a third nipple
Right, as you
Slightly
do.
lower.
in the middle of his chest.
Right, it happens.
About 2 inches out.
I blame the bats.
As the one next to him,
Look at Lexi.
Lexi's going full face hugger on poor Evie. As oh damn. Do me a favor, give me a quick stealth roll.
Me?
Yes. Or deception, I'll accept either or.
Deception.
Okay. This is just to see if the poor private next to him realizes what's going on.
Oh, his privates realized because he bet himself.
So how is a 10?
Mr. Pyle. Private.
Oh, Private Pyle.
Gomer Pyle. Looks at you, has his sword, and he kind of puts it defensively between you and danger and his captain and says, "Milady, stay behind me and I'll keep you safe." Because wisdom's his dump stat.
Woo! All right.
I will protect you and the captain from the bats and whatever else is lurking down here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Private. Thank you.
I might get sloppy seconds. Sorry, that was a thought bubble.
No, the captain would go first.
Well, the Lord of the Hole would go first.
Oh my heavens!
I'm looking for the lady of the
The
hole.
private we get to watch. That's
Oh,
all.
this is definitely a performance of a lifetime.
Their lifetime.
Okay, as Blain, you see the private gets between danger. What's your passive perception? No, you don't roll it.
Oh,
It's
12.
wisdom 12. You see her go up and shank the motherfucker from fucking behind. And this look in her eyes like,
Yeah, motherfucker.
Private Gomer Pyle is not noticing this, and he gets between you and them, expecting danger to come running around like some kind of vampire bat.
Golly!
It's the bats. It's
So-
the bats.
Sometime the sergeant lets me load me on crossbow.
Oh,
So-
I bet he does.
So, it would only be fair, he's trying to protect her, that he would get what went to his sergeant first. Second, so in the name of fairness, I'm gonna smack him in the fucking helm with my goddamn warhammer.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
Do I get inspiration for that? In the name
I
of
will
fairness.
give you mean advantage. I will give you advantage because he was not expecting you to lash out at him.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
were seeming very, very servile, very slavish, so he was not expecting you.
Natural 20.
Obviously, he was not expecting anything from you other than kowtowing like the slave you are and you know you're supposed to be until all of a sudden you're like, Warhammer! Out of your robes comes this hammer that glimmers in the darkness.
You just rang his bell.
And he looks at you and he's...
Rang his bell.
And all of a sudden, you notice like a half of a second between when your hammer gets raised and when you arc down and like right before it strikes, he realizes this half-orc's gonna hit.
Sudden realization dawns across his face.
And then death, or at least a concussion.
Go ahead and roll for damage. Remember, you roll your dice twice.
Oh.
Yep, that's a natural 20 is the dice twice.
So 3,
6.
6
And
plus,
then plus your strength.
1.
7.
So 7 points of damage.
Right
No,
to the
3
face.
plus 6.
Oh,
10
not the
points of
higher
damage.
roll.
No, it's
Okay.
total of.
10 points of damage.
Goodbye, Miss Your Face.
As you, all of a sudden you're being very pious, very humble, very reserved. You all of a sudden flip your robes open and there's like, Hammer do!
I smite thee, you
As-
unintelligent swine! You have no wisdom!
As your hammer there's this arc where everyone's watching your hammer.
It's
through
a
the-
rainbow arc.
Including
Yes!
him.
Well, there are rainbow ribbons.
As all of a sudden his eyes cross right before contact, and your hammer just cracks between his eyes. And you just hear the crushing of bone and his sword clank on the floor.
Oh, you killed
And
him.
then he drops to his knees, and the whole time he's looking up, it almost looks pious the way he's dropping his sword.
You know-
You killed him in one blow.
It's not the first time the Fabulous has been so strong a man couldn't keep his sword up.
Well, that's what they get for just dismissing the orc.
I was thinking you'd go with the dies in one blow joke, but okay.
Oh.
Good too. No, he gives good head. How's your head? No complaints.
With one shot shot at head. You
blows them
crush
away.
them.
Oh my god.
You bring them to their knees.
Well, that worked out. I hope they're alone in the cave because we're not sneaking anymore.
As all of a sudden the
It's
rogue
those
who,
damn
who
bats!
thinks her stealth was great is like, sneaking around the corner with the rapier ready. And there's just Walking Dead
Wait,
and your
da-da,
friend.
da-da, da-da, oh, shit.
And a longsword falls in the back half of the cave.
Well, that was I'm really glad they had terrible halitosis.
Yeah.
I'm really glad.
As you're holding your guy, just going,
Is he alive or is he dead?
oh, he's dead.
All right, we can't question
You
these.
gave him a trendy piercing of the sternum from the spine.
Ooh.
Do we see anybody else in the cave or hear anybody else?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, Tilda.
I had to channel my
She
inner
goes full
Tilda.
halfling all
By
of a
the
sudden.
way, it's 8:29.
Yes, we have to.
So all of a
loot
sudden, the
bodies.
rogue shadows broadcast that was part of her bad stealth roll is the torches behind her. So she's pantomimed as a halfling with, and her rapier looks like a short bow for a second there, and you hear this homage to Tilda.
Have fun storming the castle.
As you, of course, I'm assuming, pull your rapier out and let him drop to his dirty, filthy knees.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely do
For
that.
he is the scum that reinforces everything that makes society distasteful.
I can't believe I didn't get advantage for being fair.
You got advantage for being behind
I'm
them.
an inspiration.
It's good.
You got advantage for being servile.
I know.
You killed them in their faces.
Literally between the eyes.
Good.
Natural 20.
And you are beamed that.
Oh
And-
my god.
And you crack his skull in, and you're like immediately like anime style, where you just see the squiggly lines, and then you reappear right next to Ray.
It's like a stealth cannon.
Hello there. You quick.
You kind of like lean
Shit.
against.
Look, we brought a ballista.
You lean against Ray and like, we did this together.
13.
Yay, team.
Fist bump style.
Wait, we're fisting now.
Fist bumping.
You have a
Thank
team
you.
adventure. It's like the
Oh,
V for
no.
adventure, but it's an A.
So what did the...
No.
A for anal.
No. What to do?
Only the rogue does it from behind.
Oh, the bard did too.
Oh my goodness.
I have
It was-
to do two at a time.
Well, I mean, I did.
So what
Impale
loot
him.
did they specifically have on them?
So you guys basically pull the bodies aside so they're out of the way,
Yeah, no,
and they're
we do.
horrible.
We've got a horse now.
Poor Gomer still has his eyes crossed with his cranium cracked in. He's got this inverted skull. It looks sad because there's like a drop of blood coming down.
But he's definitely
Oh,
dead.
he's a corpse. Yeah,
He's
he's as cold as the cave wall.
Hey,
Killed him.
necromancers are just late healers.
Ew. So you guys immediately go check out. You find that basically, if you were to give it over to the village, there's enough food here to get them through a winter. Or
Take some of ourselves,
a
too.
small army of about 5 or 6 platoons easily through a winter of being on a campaign.
We should really give this food to the village, I think.
Yeah. We'll keep
Or-
a little bit for
Or
ourselves.
hide it or destroy it, one or the other.
No.
Oh, no way!
You're too nice to poison
Ah,
it.
no.
Bag of holding.
Bread in circuses.
That's us.
No,
And-
we, have,
and-
we have the magic bag of holding to carry a bunch of this food back to the village.
You guys don't know about the bag of holding yet.
You just know she's wearing one of their backpacks.
We're going to know about the bag of holding, though, very shortly. I suspect.
How long is she going to say, I needed his backpack because mine has holes in it?
Yeah, uh-huh.
But you're going to carry all this shit.
No, that's why we have a horse.
The horse can't carry an army of food.
No, the horse is gonna
Stack it all on the horse and then put the horse in the bag. Easy,
No.
right?
It has
Just
to
leave
be
the horse's head
It
out
has
like...
to be able to fit into the opening of the bag.
No,
which is
what
Get the
we
butter.
need to do is we need to start shuffling some of it out of there because we don't know when these guys are going to be back. We can't strip it yet until we know it's secure.
Alright.
And we have to take the horse with us so it doesn't look suspicious.
But we should definitely take off the whole, like, bridle
Yes.
and whatnot.
Is there a fire we can dispose of that in?
Oh, we can make one.
Do you have a spell called Radiant?
Scorching.
Are we going to leave these bodies in the mine?
Sacred flame.
That's a good question.
I
Yeah,
think
we're
we should
going
leave
to-
the bodies in the woods a bit far
For
from
the dire
cave.
wolves.
For the
Apparently there
dire-
are hungry dire wolves
We
in the woods.
should definitely leave them for the dire wolves.
Yes,
It's
and-
only polite.
We killed their
It's the
matrons.
circle of life.
It's the circle of life,
We
man.
need to
Channel your paladin, man.
Maybe, man.
Man, it's
Lord.
the circle of life. Oh,
So you guys
man.
drag the bodies off into the woods and kick some leaves over them, you know, elven burial style.
Out your pockets.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna loot their pockets?
That's what I've been saying. Loot the bodies.
Of course,
Well,
we're going to loot the pockets.
Always.
So you guys are gonna get about 28 gold coins.
Woohoo!
Each.
Yeah, total.
Total.
Between the two guys, because, of course, the sergeant has more coin.
Right, I'm writing
And-
this down.
And the sergeant, you also get a locket that he has in his purse
Locket.
that seems to have a beautiful woman. She seems to have maybe, she's not half elf, but she probably has some elven in her bloodline. Because she seems to have slightly more almondy eyes than normal, and her cheeks and ears are a little more pronounced.
Gold in our pockets or what?
What's that?
So we each put 7 gold in our pockets?
Do you?
I mean, we could definitely
we can.
divide it that way.
There's no reason not to divide it up
Yeah.
individually.
Alright.
Divide it up so if one of us gets somebody, we are opposed.
7 gold. Alright. Anything else out of their pockets is?
Not particularly. That's pretty much all they had on them when they were sent on the mission to go drop off more weapons and equipment for the stash.
Alright, so I've got a locket left from an elfish. Elf-ish.
Ish being, you know, in air
Lady.
quotes.
Right, elf-ish.
And you notice, do you like look in the locket? Or you just
Yeah,
like,
no.
pop it open, close it, and put it in
No,
your
we're
pocket?
to look in the locket.
Okay, so you like peel the pictures.
I'm murdered in. I'm going to check out everything.
Okay, if you kind of peel the picture in the locket, it comes out, and there's actually a address
Oh.
in the City of Light.
Ooh, we can see this bitch soon.
Go ahead and give me a intel roll. It's just a straight intel bonus. Whoever you show the locket to.
Intel's my dumb stud.
Who's smart?
Hi.
The gnome.
14 plus 2.
I'm going to share it with our cleric.
Okay.
I'm curious about this address in the City of Lights.
Well, he would be rolling the intel then.
Oh, but I
What'd you
definitely rolled a 19 as well.
Oh, apparently.
I know this place.
Well, we have been to the city of light.
Blaine, give me
before.
a roll as well, since she's looking at it and telling you about it. Something tells me she knows about it, probably because of her background.
Yeah, she might know more. Because I've just recently joined the troop.
What did you roll?
A 4. So 6.
You're like, it's in the City of Light.
Thank you, Blain.
Ray, you actually know, because you know a lot of people. You accept people of every type, and she does have a pretty face.
She does have a pretty face.
And
And I never forget a pretty face.
almost immediately, there's inspiration like in the far-flung future ready for you as soon as you meet her. It seems to be a address in the red light district.
Ooh, right up your alley.
The Red Lantern District.
Oh no, they call it the red light. They've got magic lights, so they never go out.
It's a City of Lights. They're all about it, right?
So it's an address for the red light district in the City of Lights. Now, we're talking the high class. You spent a year's salary if you were a sergeant to get this picture, probably. City of Lights.
And that is a good place to wrap it up.
And you guys also have, by the way, about 48 swords, 48 suits of leather armor.
I hope we can sell them or give them away.
Yes, let's hope we
Something
solve
tells
it.
you stashing them here is probably the best bet. Or if you were to like dig a hole or something and then dump them in the hole.
Now, if I could take one of those long swords, would that improve my stats?
You're a
What weapon?
barbarian.
You're using a flail, which is better than a longsword.
You're good.
Then I
Yeah.
stick with the flail.
Okay. So, Blain and Violet, give me a quick survival roll. Basically, you're going to look to see if you can make a cache for the equipment. That's a purely survivalist thing. I'm going to use a hollowed out tree, a dirt hole.
I was a squirrel in a past life.
We mark it with a
Squeak, squeak.
So you get a what?
13.
13. Squeaker.
Do you want one of my 20s?
This one is very nice to me.
He's like, no.
It's been giving it a lot of love.
Woohoo!
What's that?
18 plus 2 is unnatural.
So you find a good squirrel hole, but he immediately points out to you, that tree is dying of beetle blight. Fire beetles obviously went through it when it was hit by lightning a season ago. And it's completely bored out, but doesn't look like it is.
Well, I
So
wouldn't
we
exactly
could
be
take
thrilled either.
all of... Actually, it's Circle of Life, man.
Super lively.
You could take all of the equipment, stash it in this tree, put the bark back on the tree, and you believe you can camouflage it to look like nothing's ever been disturbed here.
I need some spit.
As a barbarian spits in the back of your head.
All on Violate.
Never ask a barbarian for spit. So you guys cache all the equipment just a little, like a good walk from the cave.
Right.
Okay, and you're leaving, and you're just elven burial the bodies outside the gates.
Right, for the dire wolves.
Okay.
Just.
Okay, and as you guys are heading back to the city to Wintergrass. Okay, as you guys start heading back, all of a sudden the camera pans to the cave. You see the dark cave as you guys are leaving back of the game trail. And as Kellie said, that is where the screen goes dark. It just wonks out Star Wars style from the center.
Woo!
And that is a good place to wrap it up there.
Yay! We lived! We seduced! We deceived!
killed something other than
And just
furry
for
creatures.
giggles, Evie or Blain, or Violet or Blain, whichever's got dice handy, give me a survival roll on your way back to see if anything happens to you. We're not going to have an encounter, but we'll see if anything happens.
I've got
19,
16 plus
21.
2, 18.
21.
Okay, so which one of you wants to take it?
I rolled higher.
Evie didn't hear you, so...
I rolled a 21.
You're doing it, man.
Okay, so once again the cleric has the map, and the cleric guides you guys back, and he's like, and this is the dead dire wolf's corpse. We're on the trail.
Goodbye, dire wolf.
As there's a skinned dire wolf with the bird pecking at it. And you guys basically are coming back from your rehearsal in the woods. As, of course, the little kids are walking with you, wanting you to do something impressive as you guys get back late in the evening.
Well, I'll do some handsprings or something.
That sounds like fun.
Okay, so you guys doing the performance bids, you're coming into town to go back to... All of a sudden, the bard in town is giving you the look of, come on, baby, come back to my room. Come on, baby, one more time.
Do some air
Come on, baby, 3 more times.
Fire, baby.
Maybe I can question her.
Oh, okay.
yes.
And
Occupy her mouth.
so you're walking off with the bard, and the rest of you guys are going back to the keep.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that's exactly when the camera wonks out, and that's a good place to wrap it up.
Woo! Good. It was a good game
Yes.
tonight. That was great.
And the ones were beautiful because it made things happen.
Holy shit.
The fact that you and I both
2
rolled
ones
purple.
from the sneakiest members of the team.
That was amazing.
And at the same time.
Yeah.
It just means that you guys were actually in that moment where you were still living the lie when you left town of the performance.
Sweet Mother Buddha. Yes. Yes. We were living the lie. That was
Living
us.
La Vida Loca.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm much more sneaky in a city than I am in the woods.
Hey, you. Do you like the Tales from the Crypt series? Do you like spooky things in general? Then check out the Good Evening Kitties podcast. That's Good Evening Kitties podcast. GOODEVENING KIDDIES podcast. Each week, I'll review a new episode from the TV series The Tales from the Crypt. Find me on Podbay, Podbean, or iTunes. That's the Good Evening Kitties podcast. Check it out today.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.